Imagine the northern half of South America. Now picture it stripped of every leaf and river, replaced by a desolate, sun-baked wasteland. The Amazon is the largest tropical rainforest on Earth. It covers 5.5 million square kilometers and stretches across 9 different countries. This map overlays the Amazon's footprint directly onto the continent of Australia. As the world's 9th largest nation by landmass, it would nearly fill that entire territory. To understand how our planet functions today, we have to run a simulation. We need to see what happens to the Earth when its largest biological engine is completely erased. Most people assume we would run out of air. The forest is frequently called the lungs of the Earth, credited with producing 20% of the oxygen we breathe. This diagram shows the true cycle of ecosystem respiration. While the canopy produces oxygen, almost all of it is immediately reabsorbed by the plants themselves and the decaying matter on the forest floor. The Amazon's net contribution to global oxygen is actually closer to 6 or 9%. While our air would remain breathable, the disappearance of the forest triggers a massive, immediate surge in atmospheric carbon that would destabilize the global climate. The Amazon functions as a massive natural vault, holding up to 200 billion tons of carbon in its wood and soil. This image represents the total global fossil fuel emissions for 2019. The carbon locked in the Amazon is roughly 50 times that annual amount. In our simulation where the forest never existed, this carbon remains in the atmosphere, intensifying the global greenhouse effect from the very beginning. Without this natural storage system, the baseline temperature of our planet would be several degrees hotter. The forest also regulates the movement of water. Billions of trees pull moisture from the ground and release 20 billion tons of water vapor into the air every single day, creating massive flying rivers. This atmospheric pump delivers the monsoon rains that sustain these enormous agricultural regions across Brazil and Argentina. Without these flying rivers, the fertile regions of South America would resemble the dry, arid geography of Africa's Sahel region. Millions lose their primary food sources as the entire geography of the continent becomes largely uninhabitable. Deleting the Amazon removes 20% of all terrestrial species on Earth, including millions of insects, birds, and plants never categorized by science. Thousands of medical compounds ranging from cancer treatments to antibiotics are derived from these specific plants. In this simulation, those discoveries never happen. The collapse of the forest also erases the lineage of millions of indigenous people whose cultures and knowledge evolved alongside this landscape for millennia. Removing the Amazon deletes a massive chapter of evolutionary history, leaving the planet biologically impoverished. This map shows how the Amazon's specific heat and moisture patterns dictate the movement of air across the entire globe. Removing that engine disrupts snowfall patterns in North America and destabilizes the critical monsoon rains across Africa. Combining these broken weather patterns with the massive surge in atmospheric carbon causes global climate change to accelerate. The climate crisis we face today would have been the permanent, unlivable reality of our species decades ago. This catastrophic simulation is actually happening in real time. Driven by logging and agricultural fires, 20% of the Amazon rainforest has already been destroyed. Scientists warn that we are approaching a biological tipping point, the threshold where our hypothetical simulation becomes our physical reality. This forest functions as a regulatory engine, governing global temperatures and the carbon levels of the entire atmosphere. Ultimately, ensuring the Amazon rainforest remains standing today is an absolutely non-negotiable requirement for the survival of our entire planet.